everyone. This evening I'll be providing you with an overview of what VAT is, the taxes that VAT will replace, some exempted items, some zero-rated items, what you need to know as a consumer, and how the VAT is calculated. Now, many of you might wonder what is value-added tax, or some of you, tax is basically a tax on consumption. It is charged on the value of imports through customs and on the value added on goods and services that we purchase from the supermarket or from a service provider. Which means when the VAT comes into effect on November 1st, the items that you purchase in the supermarket would have a value of 17% included in them. And all prices must be VAT inclusive. So when you go to the cash register, if you pick up an item for $10, that item will still be $10 when you go to the register. The 17% would have already been included into the price of that item. Now, who would pay VAT? Basically, businesses and individuals are the ones who pay VAT because we are all our consumers. However, only registered businesses can charge this VAT. And in order to charge this VAT, you must be registered to collect the money on behalf of the government. And so one of the requirements is that you have to meet a certain threshold. The threshold means your annual gross sales as a business. It has to exceed $150,000 annually or $96,000 if you're commercial or timeshare rental or you're a professional. Now, VAT will replace a number of taxes, and some of these I'll mention, 12 of them actually. There's the consumption tax, the telecommunications levy, the hotel and restaurant tax, the cable TV tax, gaming machine tax and lotteries tax, the public entertainment tax, export duty, parcel tax, vehicle rental levy, the island enhancement tax, except for the passenger facility fee, and the traders tax. Now, persons might be wondering, well, what impact the repealing of these taxes would have on me as a consumer. Well, off the bat, you can see that telecommunications levy will be replaced by VAT, so you would definitely see an increase in your telephone bill and your cable bill because these two taxes will no longer exist come November 1st on the introduction of VAT. Now, what are some of the items that are exempt from this VAT, meaning you won't be charged VAT on them at all? Now, if you're importing a barrel that has in 100 pounds, or more, then you'll get the first 45 kilograms free of VAT. Also, if you're sending items abroad or you're bringing in items and they might have had some mishap, for instance, and you have to ship them back, let's say to Miami, on importation, you won't have to pay that VAT again because you would have already paid for that when it entered the country. Another thing that would be exempted is that if you get a basket of goods, for example, as a religious organization, a church or a charitable organization, then your items would be exempt from VAT as long as you're not reselling them or to make a profit. Additionally, some exempt supplies that you have to bear in mind as a consumer that you won't have to pay VAT on include insurance, and that includes property insurance, vehicle insurance, and your medical insurance, and your life as well. Education services, and this includes your tuition. Medical services, that includes your doctor fees, so you won't have to pay VAT on your doctor bill. Locally produced agricultural products, as long as they are grown by the farmer. You won't have to pay VAT on your electricity bill. You won't have to pay VAT on medicines for chronic diseases such as diabetes, hypertension, cardiovascular disease, asthma, renal disease, cancer, mental illness, and HIV and AIDS, as long as the list is approved by the Chief Medical Officer. You won't have to pay VAT on printed matter such as articles, textbooks, and newspapers and pamphlets once they're imported and once they're sold locally. Also, you won't have to pay that on your water bill, on your rent, your residential rent that is, bus fees and taxi fees, your interest on loans, and for the basic construction to your home, there's no VAT on the labor portion of your bill.